I was going to do like a 40-minute talking to you the whole time kind of presentation, and then after being here, I realized we want to hear from each other, right? So I'm going to have y'all be very interactive today. I'll start off with an intro, and then we're going to start chatting. We're going to have a mic that's going to run around, and we're going to help each other out as we go. Does that sound good? Awesome. Okay. Well, let's do it. So this is me. Anyone done the 3D action figure? Awesome. So you can go ahead and cheat and scan the code if you want to get to my LinkedIn or whatnot, but I've got the full prompt there. This is ChatGPT. You just tell it exactly who you are. It'll create that in about 30 seconds. Pretty cool, right? All right. So I think you've heard pretty much all about me. I don't need to say much more from that intro. But I do want to thank Roger and team for having me today and for this wonderful conference. So round of applause to them. And happy birthday, Leslie. So who's ready to shake it up today? Yes, I love it. Okay. This was going to be a slide about all the complaints we have about the accounting industry or profession. But instead, like I said, I'm going to add more interaction here so that we can talk about things that are working in our firms and help other people. Accounting is evolving very fast, right? Every day, some new tech tool's coming out. Every day, AI has something new for us. Every day, we're struggling to find interns or staff members or anything like that, right? So, how do we go from just surviving in our practices to thriving? We have a lot of newbie firm owners here, don't we? Who? New? Yes, and I love that for y'all. I love that, but I also worry when you're telling me your stories that 2-3 years from now, you're gonna start getting burnout because that's kind of where things tend to go when your boundaries aren't set that well in the profession. And so I'm gonna help y'all with that today with 3 core pillars. Advisory, tech, and pricing. And this isn't just theory. We're going to talk actual technical tools here. Now, this saved my own firm. I had a firm of 12 years, and it was going great. I started in 2010, a CPA firm. Then I started having kids. Who has kids? Yeah, a lot of us. I have people that say, well, what if I don't have kids? How do I save my firm? I'm like, I don't know. You got to find something else. But I had kids. I realized I couldn't be a workaholic anymore, right? I got diagnosed with chronic fatigue, which is essentially what you get diagnosed with when they can't find anything else wrong with you. But you have to sleep like twice as much as everybody else. So that's a lot of fun. And so these 3 pillars are going to help either better your already awesome firm, which hopefully a lot of you have. I've heard some great stories. Or help you transform towards the better for the future. So we're going to future-proof times 3 with those pillars. All right, let's talk about busy season vibes. Who was part of our tax busy season this year? All right. I want you to yell out one word that you would describe your busy season as. Busy? Yeah, that's a good one. What else? Exhausting, yeah. It's not really set for us to have success, right? It's a pretty reactive process. Confession time. So it's 2017. I have a 4-year-old and almost 1-year-old. And I'm buried, which this is metaphoric because I was paperless, but I was buried in 1040s, so to speak, during tax busy season. I was in yesterday, or maybe the week before sweats, I don't know. I had a coffee IV drip. I'm on my 2nd one this morning, so nothing's changed there. And I was feeling dead inside, honestly. Like, I got into this to help people. I love tax planning and strategies, but people were just like, I was working 2 a.m. I loved working 2 a.m. because no one bothered me or emailed me. Anyone felt that? Yeah. So it's 8 p.m. that night, and I see it's time to put those kids to bed. And my husband whispers to them, in front of me. Pretend like mommy doesn't exist during busy season. Oh, gut punch, right? Like stab to the heart. And we're still married though, so don't worry. That was kind of my burnout rock bottom. I was feeling terrible. I stood up from my desk. I almost collapsed from low blood sugar or fatigue or whatever was going on with my body, right? It's like, I can't do this anymore. Something has to change or I'm gonna break. So I vowed that I would never again deal with another busy season like that. So I hit reset, and I've learned a lot of things over the years that I'm hoping you can get some cool little tips and tricks with as well. So it transformed that burnout to breakthrough, and it allowed me to be here today to hopefully help y'all, so that's a good thing. And then what's really cool is in 2022, I was able to sell my firm with 56 concierge clients, is what I called my firm, the Concierge CPA, for 7 figures. How did I do that? I put clients on tax advisory packages. I led with tax advisory, and they were on subscriptions. And so I was able to sell at a much higher rate than other firms in 2022. Now, it's a little different now with PE and all that stuff coming in, but it was pretty good then, right? So let's fast forward. We're not going to recognize a firm in 2030 or forward. It's going to be very different with technology. There will be continuous accounting. Woohoo! Can't wait. There will be leaner and smarter teams. Who's using AI? Awesome. I love AI. It's my best friend. So ChatGPT 03 is my current bestie. Go try that model if you haven't. It's amazing. 73% of us, though, in the profession actually are not using it yet. Can you see what a huge slide or gap that's going to show if we don't get on board? Now, good news, almost 60% of us will be investing in it within the next year. They're going to need some guidance, though. So, good thing we've got peers and groups like this that will help us out. Who heard about the World Economic Forum saying that accounting was one of the top 10 at-risk jobs in the future? Pretty crazy, right? I think that my theory is that AI is not going to replace us, but it will replace those that don't use it, okay? So we have to evolve. And here's a quote about that. This is what everyone's saying. That's who I'm attributing it to, everyone. Artificial intelligence will not replace accountants. Accountants who use AI will replace those who don't. And firms today won't exist in 2030. My friend Jody Padar said that. We'll be more towards a subscription model and less hourly. I have a pricing calculator I created that I'm going to show y'all today. So again, very practical steps that's going to help get you there. Client expectations will be through the roof. They already want things like yesterday. They want Netflix subscriptions. They want Waze directions, right? They expect that from us too. So, who's ready to pivot? Let's get into the first pillar, advisory. And then we're going to start chatting it up about what's working out there for you. So if you're doing any kind of advisory, start thinking about what you want to share about that, because I love tax advisory, but that's not everyone's jam. Who's a tax advisor? Okay, cool, yeah. You know, like three of us. But in the future, compliance isn't going to be enough. So we do have to make that pivot. We know that the profession is working more towards CAS services, whatever the heck that means, right? But clients will want that guidance. So we're going to talk about how to do that. Accounting is just a tool to get us there. People want that advice. And what's really cool is that advisory equals tremendous growth. Who knows the stats on how much you can grow in an advisory firm? It's like 2-3 times, if not 5 times revenue growth. It's amazing. So there are firms out there that are 5 timesing their revenue, moving to advisory services, outsource CFO, CAS, tax advisory, reducing people's operating expenses. I mean, you can pick anything. Just pick something that you're passionate about and that you can really help people with. And if you can be a detective, then you can be an advisor. Anyone can do this, y'all. And that's what's so cool is that the tax advisor of the past needed to know the tax code. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble with this one. The tax advisor of the future, you don't need to know every single tax code out there. What you need to know is that you're curious about why the heck someone has a $500,000 capital gain on their 1040. What does that mean? Let's deep dive into that a little bit. Let's figure it out, right? And so that's the future, is like any of us, which I know a lot of us here are bookkeepers, you can do this too, which is super cool. All right, so I asked a lot of questions about who's an advisor, who does this, who does that. Who's already value pricing? Awesome. Ooh, this is good. Okay. So I'll follow up with y'all after the session, make sure that I've still added some value to you today. So my 5-time story, just so that you know, this is real stuff. 2016, 2017, I completely converted my firm to leading with tax advisory. I went to a business coach and I said, hey, something's got to change. He said, who do you like working with and why? I said, I love working with high net wealth entrepreneurs. I mean, who wouldn't? They're like super easy to deal with, they're super respectful, and they're in the top tax bracket, which makes tax savings very easy. I mean, 37% times a $100,000 deduction is $37K of savings. It's that simple, right? And so I was able to convert my clients 5 times my revenue while also selling 60% of my clients off that were not a good fit for those packages. It was like, I should have had the meme. I love the memes, but mind-blowing amazingness, right? It's like, why isn't everyone doing this? Well, because we have this tradition of how we're supposed to be in this profession, and conferences like this are helping us move into more modern thinking and whatnot. But there's always something like those kind of limiting beliefs, I think, that are holding us back. And so I'm hoping to help with that mind shift today. Start small. Pick one client. That's what I did. I exported my list of clients, top revenue to bottom revenue from QBO, and I went one by one. And now I was like, oh, this one's a PITA. Who knows what a PITA is? Can't say it in Utah, sorry. Do not go to the PITAs, the pains in the you-know-what, okay? If they've already been a pain, they're going to continue to be a pain. Pick a client that's a big fan of yours. Maybe you helped save them a lot of money on an hourly rate for like $300 back in the day. I did that with a client. The first client I went to, I had saved him like $200,000 because he misreported capital gain income as ordinary income on his 1040. And so I immediately amended, barely charged a thing, right, in like 2012, and he was a fan for life. So I went to him and I said, hey, Pete, I want to test something out on you. I really want to move to tax advisory services. I have these packages I created. I really want to show a return on investment to you. And I want to give you a proposal and quote for this. And if I can't find a 200% return on investment, we won't move forward. How does that sound? He's like, great, let's do it. We did it. And I'll save the results for just a minute. But you can hone in if you're not exactly sure what those top clients are. Most of us have an idea of like 1 to 3 clients that you could help immediately. Do y'all have people that come to mind? Yeah. I mean, with the way that we're set up, we're so reactive, compliance focused, and you see those problem points or pain points, you see the potential savings, but you're not able to do anything about it at that moment, right? So now's the time to circle back and have your moment and focus in on what client pains they're going through. We had a gentleman yesterday talk about that, right? Focus on, what was it? Not their pain point. Are y'all awake? Yes, the burning. Yes, the burning problem. Okay. So, being a trusted advisor is really the answer. My friend Liz Farr mentions how value pricing is important. We'll get to that. And if you can, package your advice together, okay? So you've seen from, Deborah showed packages, that was great. There were some other examples of packaging and whatnot at the conference. If you want to see the exact 3 packages that I had for my clients, you can go to jackie.cpa/packages, okay? And call it whatever the heck you want. Don't overthink it, just do it, okay? These can evolve. You can change them as much as you want. Please don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. But we want this tech to give us real-time data, and by packaging the scope of those services, like Brittany was talking about, make sure you have a scope, right? You're not just doing everything for everyone. You're gonna do really well. And advisory feels really good, doesn't it? I feel like I'm really helping people when I do advisory work. I don't necessarily feel like I'm really helping people whenever I'm doing data entry, right? And so that's what's so neat about it. So you can find your purpose on that hamster wheel. It's a burnout antidote. I thought I was going to mess up that word. I got it. Yes. Okay. So on that note, before we go to pillar 2, it's time to talk. What kind of advisory are you doing? Where's our mic? Awesome. Raise your hand if you would please share what kind of advisory you're doing. Is it Nick? Hey, Nick, what's up? Okay, can we get the mic to Nick? Yeah, this is the part where y'all are going to talk now. Not just me.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. So advisory I'm doing is tax advisory, using your software. And just basically as continuing to grow, the best case scenario is leading a new client with tax advisory. Sometimes you gotta get and do the prep, and then come back and say, what are the opportunities to help them save a huge ROI and continue to help them save money on taxes.
Awesome.
Yep.
And any kind of encouragement, like kind of elevator pitch as to why others should start doing it or how it's for anyone?
You've made a couple great points already, which is you don't have to be a tax expert to be able to create value immediately for the client. Mm-hmm. And the people, it's really hard to get a no out of them. Let's just put it that way. Like everyone is like, yes, this makes sense. Let's do this. It's a logical close to an ROI for you and the client.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. Okay, who's next? Who's doing a different type of advisory or same thing? Okay, over here. Let's hear. We need to share. Oh, that's Sharon. Uh-oh. Whoa, we're in trouble. Just kidding.
No, it's cool. Take your time. No, I'm just joking. Sorry. I was just kidding. It's all right. All right, I'm going to fight him. Strategic business advisory, really based on what people need. So when they come to me, it's really a matter of analyzing where they're at. But the specialty is in technology and process and documentation.
Yes. Sharon and I are both, sorry guys, we're both super app geeks. So we will be spending all of our time researching new apps and softwares and then bugging our team as to how to implement them. It's great. Okay, anyone else want to share real fast? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I do tax advisory, but
okay.
I also couple it with the Value Builder Engagement Program. And so it's kind of an interesting mix, but I have what I talked about yesterday, the living business plan, and that living business plan process wraps the tax and what's their freedom point? How long are you going to do this?
Beautiful.
All the way through to, okay, we know what your company more valuable.
Yeah. And have you seen some of the results that I discussed, like your revenue increasing? Oh, yeah, dramatically, right?
I moved to advisory and started offloading clients who I was doing their taxes and just started sending them to other people in our group. We saw an immediate change in what our, revenue was, but also the cost to do what we were doing went way down.
Yes.
So we had an immediate profit.
I love that you mentioned that. I didn't fit that in my slides, but the time it takes you, that knowledge you're acquiring over the years, really ends up being a lot less time. But here's the real cool kicker, y'all, is that the clients are way happier to pay you way more because you're going to get the results for them. And if you don't, you're gonna figure out how to make it right. And you're just transparent about that. So, pillar 2, tech. All right, I had to throw in a few of my favorite tools, but first of all, we got Michael over here. He's like, let's send it over on a dinosaur. Do y'all remember the fax? Do you remember how much time that dang fax took us? Oh my gosh. And then the IRS would never let go of it for years and years. Finally, we're over the fax. But the point I'm making here is that we almost have selective memory. We forget about how long these things took us because they don't exist anymore. And AI is going to take us to that same spot, okay? It's gonna be our best friend, assistant, buddy, and we won't even have to think about all this nonsense anymore. We'll be able to automate the data, obviously. So let's talk to my favorite tech. So Sharon actually uses this app as well. It's called Motion. And no, I don't get affiliate fees. I don't know them at all. But I just stumbled onto it a few weeks ago. Y'all remember how we were talking about scheduling e-calendar with Brittany? So this is going to actually automatically schedule your tasks in between your time blocks, exactly when you want them scheduled based on the urgency, any hard deadline, etc. So when I'm at a conference like this, I have my whole calendar blocked off, but it knows if I have something that's like an emergency, which I'm applying to do a TEDx that's due like this Friday, and that's an emergency, I have to get that in. It's gonna throw it up on my calendar like at 7 a.m. or 6 p.m. so I know I can get it done, right? It's just fabulous, y'all. It's fabulous. You gotta check it out. And eCals. I have to mention eCals. Please don't underrate the eCal. Who has an eCal? E-calendar, sorry. My niece is like, what's an eCal? No one has an eCal? Okay, thank you. I told you this was interactive. And we have so many tools now for workflow. 10 years ago, we didn't have any of these cool workflow or practice management apps, did we? And now you can choose your weapon or choose your tool, right? So we've got Canopy, we've got Count, we've got Carbon, we've got Jetpack Workflow, we've got Keeper, which automates that back and forth bank rec process, which I think is just fabulous, by the way. We have Client Hub, which does the same. I didn't do that, y'all. I was emailing spreadsheets with open items to clients, and I feel so ashamed. I feel so ashamed. But we now have solutions that are going to get us out of that. You will have capacity visibility with these tools for your team and yourself, and eventually the books will do themselves. Now, I was very disappointed the other day. I post on LinkedIn a lot, and I mentioned an app that's a competitor to QBO that claims to have come out with a completely automated bookkeeping solution. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Okay. So I log in, I get a trial. I'm poking around, like can't find the bank rec area. I come back the next day, I'm poking around, can't find the bank rec area. Finally, after like a couple weeks, I'm like, okay, what am I missing here? I email their customer support. I'm like, where can I do the bank rec? Y'all will not believe what they responded with. I should have put it up on the screen. We don't currently have that feature. And if you'd like to let us know why you need it, that would be great. What? No thanks. Moving on. Ugh. Crazy. No, it was not zero. Don't throw zero under the bus. So eventually we'll be able to bonfire our rec list, which will be pretty fun stuff. We'll have Cash Faster. We already have Cash Faster. The AR and AP solutions that we're seeing today are fabulous. And we have our AI sidekicks, right? So if you have not invested $20 a month in ChatGPT, please go do that. It is well worth the money, and you can treat yourself, okay? You can train interns, any staff with AI. It's just like your second brain. It's amazing. Did you know, though, that 42% of our tasks are automatable? Is that a word? Yeah. Thanks, Tony. I was reading that slide. I was like, I don't know if that's a word, but I lost some words after having kids, the chronic fatigue, all that stuff. It's whatever. You just got to laugh at yourself, right? Oh, and I happened to hear of an app that actually has gotten making tax plans and strategy reports down to under 3 minutes. Wonder what that could be. You upload a 1040 PDF, and within minutes, you have a full tax plan report. You have pricing methodology suggested in it, and you can hand it off to the client. It's pretty amazing stuff. Go back to my intro. Yes, thank you. So 69% of people say AI helps them. We'll get that to 99%, right, in the future. Automation unleashes our finances, so it's time to talk. What app can you not live without, or are you about to implement that you've just heard of? So, who wants to go first? What are you going to go back and automate? Yes, ma'am. Keeper. Yes. I've heard great things about Keeper. Who else? Yes. Love it. Love it. I wish I was an affiliate. They don't have an affiliate thing. Yeah. Oh, well. Who else? Yes. Perplexity. Okay. Yeah, I've heard good things about that. Any others you can't live without? Everyone needs to know about this app. Yes. Anchor. Yes. Anchor is killing it. Yes. TaxDome. Yes. I can't believe I forgot to mention TaxDome. TaxDome's great too. Who else? Anyone else? Going once. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Of course. Gamma.app. Okay. Okay. Fathom. We had several presenters talk about Fathom, haven't we? It's a cool app for sure. And then, of course, you have universal accounting and all the trainings and education and Earmark that we heard about. I love Earmark. I have my podcast there. You can get free CPE just to go listen to podcasts there. It's called the Concierge CPA. And so these tools, moving to advisory and tech, I was an early adopter, I'll admit, because this was, 2016, 2017. But it took my weeks down from 60 hours to 4. Who's heard of the 4-hour work week? Favorite book of all time. It's a little outdated now. I wish he would come out with a revised version. But I read that a long time ago, and I thought, I have to have that. I have to be able to travel, work from anywhere in this world. And I was able to do that. I was able to accomplish that. But not without the third pillar. So y'all got to wait and see what that is. And with these tech enablements, we're going to be able to pivot to higher value activities. I'm not talking about just work. Do whatever you want. Spend more time with your family. I had the same problem Brittany did. I became an entrepreneur, started my own firm to spend more time with my family, and ended up spending way less. I was mentally completely checked out. It was so embarrassing, right? But there are ways out, y'all, I promise. And this is the way. So pick your pain. What's the biggest problem in your firm right now? And think about what tech solution might be able to solve that problem. Pilot one new app. Just do me a favor. Just do it for me, please. Just pilot one new app in the next month. And then maybe one new app after that. And then maybe 12 new apps a year. And you'll be set. Now, I have to brag on my dad for a second here. So my dad has been in the corporate world for most of his lifetime. And he started an AI consulting company where he's helping people use ChatGPT at their businesses. He's already saved one client like 300 to 400 hours based on a few hours of work. Y'all realize that's like 8 hours a week of savings, right? You have to try this stuff. Imagine having nothing to do at 5:30 p.m. I know that's kind of scary to some of us workaholics, but I promise it'll be okay. Tech helps you get your life back. So let's move on to my favorite thing ever, pillar 3, value pricing. And I'm not just going to be up here saying, hourly model is broken. The minute saved is a punishment, which is true, okay? But I'm going to give you a true calculator you're going to download today that I created. So you can price based on value. It's called, dun dun dun, the ROI method of value pricing. And I created it a long time ago, but what's really neat, the AI CPA is actually behind it now and releasing it to all their members this year, which is a huge feat to have that support. So you will see that if you are a CPA. If you're not, don't worry, I got you. I got you back. Here's the download right here. taxplaniq.com/ROI-method. Is that spelled right? Yeah, -Growcon. And you can download the workbook there. It's an Excel file. I've super simplified it, y'all. And actually today, with my 9 minutes I have left, oh, sorry. I'll take a sip of my coffee while you do that. You're like, no more coffee, Jackie. Okay. Did everyone get it? It'll be at the end as well. Okay, let's keep going. You'll be able to quantify the benefits you can bring to the table for the client. So, here's what we do. We estimate out the financial savings or financial gains that you can find for the client. I have to admit, tax savings is the easiest way to do this. Like I said earlier, right? $100K deduction in a defined benefit plan, 37% personal tax bracket plus state, let's forget the state, whatever. You've got a $37,000 annual tax savings for that client. That's the benefit, right? You can do this with any type of advisory service. Who has saved your clients a bunch of money in the past and not necessarily charged everything you should have? Yes. Okay, I want to hear the numbers, so yell them out. Tony? 100,000. And what'd you charge? Oh, okay, we won't talk about that. What? 5 million? Oh, 500,000. Okay. I mean, I have seen worse. What about you, sir? Oh, no, that's still better than nothing. That's still way better than nothing. Yes? 90,000. Awesome. Okay. So we take that number, and as soon as you see it, you're like, there's something here, right? I can reduce this person's operating expenses, wipe out this really high interest rate that they have. Again, it doesn't have to be tax advisory. There's all kinds of ways you help your clients minimize their expenses on the P&L or maximize revenue, right? And so as soon as you can estimate that, take a step back, say, okay, this is an advisory engagement. This is different from the compliance work that I've been doing. Am I yelling at y'all? Sorry. I didn't get a tech check. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. And then you're going to apply what I call curb to it. So we're going to assess for that engagement, for that 100,000. Let's keep it easy because math's hard sometimes, right? The complexity of the engagement for you, the urgency, the risk, and the benefits you bring to the table. I call those intangible benefits, whether you provide like unlimited email assistance or delivery, pickup service, concierge assistance, things like that. So everyone can assess that on their own. And you're going to assess that 1 to 4 for each thing. So let's say that Tony gives all of those things the hardest score, a 4, okay, on that 100K. That's going to convert to 40%. This is the first time I've ever simplified this equation enough for you to be able to do this in your head, which is pretty cool. So 40% of 100K is $40,000. That's your price point. That's your value price point. Maybe he's like, well, it was 100K, but it was after the fact, and I noticed just, they overpaid net investment income tax on their tax return. That happens all the time, by the way. So maybe it was all just ones. Okay, fine. Do 10%. 10K. Still probably 10K more than what you got before, right? Exactly, that's awesome. So this is an example of the proposal that you'll produce in that workbook that you download. And there's one number missing here, and this is probably really tiny, I apologize. This is quoting an annual package of about $12,000 for the client, but you're getting over $100,000 in tax savings for them. What's missing to get you down to that almost 300% ROI, or return on investment for the client, was that implementation fee, the one-time implementation fee that I charge and that I recommend you charge too. $23,936. That's pretty cool, right? And those were not super crazy advanced ideas, y'all. Entity selection, throw in an accountable plan, capital gain or capital loss harvesting, maybe do an alternative investment strategy with the client, credits. All of that stuff adds up so quickly. You just have to stop yourself and think before you act on just blurting it out to the client. Because at the end of the day, that doesn't help anybody. They're not going to implement it. You just vomited on them, excuse my language. Is that okay in Utah? You have to charge what you're worth for these things, and then you manage every detail of the implementation. And that's where the true value lies. So almost 60% of us are raising fees this next year, which is great. Let's actually do it for a good reason. We can add more value for our clients, right? Value pricing is a better life. So please use all three pillars. Consider advisory that you can add for one client. Consider one tech tool. And consider the ROI method of value pricing or any other value pricing method you can. Now, how do I start? This is something you might want to take a pic of. So you'll email all of your clients and just say, hey, I am starting advisory services in my practice. My goal is to get you at least a 200% immediate return on investment. I can't guarantee that, but of course, that's the goal. Like, let's not move forward unless we can try to do something like that. I'll review your last file return or P&L statements or balance sheet, whatever. I'll do some quick Q&A with me. It'll cost you nothing. It'll be a 20-minute discovery call where you ask some questions. All you have to do is reply to this email and say yes, and then provide your eCal link for the booking, okay? Don't go 27 emails back and forth. So I had one person I coached do this. They saw a 1,750% return on investment by converting just a few clients that responded immediately to that email that were so excited. Make sure, though, whenever you send this, that you tell them you're going to give them a quote for the work. This is not free, okay? You do not want to go into that discovery meeting or not have the transparency up front that there will be a new engagement here and an additional charge. So just be very transparent about that. Ron Baker has a great saying that I love. He says, say this to your clients. We will undertake this engagement only if we can agree to our mutual satisfaction that the value we create is greater than the price we charge you. Is that acceptable? Now, that could be cash savings. It could be intangible benefits, too. So, just because you can't necessarily find someone an exact 50K of savings, you still might be helping them avoid penalties, or the peace of mind could be worth something, right? And so you can kind of convert those things in your head as well to what that value looks like. Now, Ron, of course, wants us to kill the timesheet. I ain't getting into that. I don't really care whether you track time or not. We did. But start with that one client, okay? This is the packages that you can go to my website and see all three. Jackie.cpa/packages. I'll let you take that one pick with my 1 minute left. Today's forecast, 100% chance of winning, y'all. Pretty good stuff, right? You can have it all. You can have profit and balance. You just need to surround yourself with a community that's going to encourage you, lift you up, let you know that they charge 10 times more than you did for that same work, right? And encourage you to do the same. So this hourly grind, let's like leave this in the past. Let's focus on the future. And let's rally our troops with our community. We have 300,000 accountants that left the profession from 2019 to 2022. That leaves us with just under 700,000. Guess what percent of those are doing advisory work? Very low. So tax advisory is like 3 to 5%. There's a huge opportunity there. Advisory in general is like 30,000 of the AICPA's like 300 to 400,000 members. It's insane. And no, you do not have to be a CPA to do any of this stuff. That's what's so cool about the future, is that we can all be empowered to do these things now. Unfortunately, 99% have felt or do feel burnt out, and so we're gonna solve that. I'm gonna speed through here. If you want to continue the discussion, go to my Facebook group, Accounting Firm Influencers. I would love to chat there, or go to my LinkedIn and continue getting that support, sharing, learning, pushing others, so that we can all move forward together in a better direction. It's time for action, y'all. Who's ready to do it? Yes! So, do that one advisory outreach, test one tool, assemble! Price one engagement with value pricing. Those small steps are going to be huge shifts for y'all. And it's gonna get you to that balance. We got a golden age ahead, y'all. It's so exciting. If you apply this to 10 clients each for our 300 attendees, that impacts 3,000 families. Amazing. So, 300 accountants unite. The future is so bright. Thank y'all so much. Please definitely connect with me, scan the code, and appreciate your time. Thank you.